Hey, so in this video, I'm going to look at headers with navbars, and I'm going to put another scenario where there is an image up above the navbar. I just did a video about this where we talked about ways that you could control how the image resizes, but there are even other cases where you have an image up above the navbar that you don't really want to resize at all. You want to keep it taking the same amount of space on the website, and you just want like the sides or the top or the bottom of the image to get cut off as the user resizes the window. So let me show you what this means. Go ahead and create a header container element here, and I'm going to use a new image here. And it's a mountain panorama that I shot a couple years ago when I was out in Glacier National Park. And here it is. So here it is without any styling put on it. And you can see that right now when I resize it, the window, all it does is it just cuts off the sides. Now that is one option. I could just leave it like that. And then I could go ahead here and say, you know what, that's too tall. So I'll say height. Maybe 150 pixels, and now it'll stay that height, but you can see right away we're running into problems here. If I go smaller and I'm too wide, and then I got all this ugly white space, and how do I deal with that? So what you're going to do, this is a little bit advanced, but you're going to go ahead and put some custom styling in here, and I'm going to end up with several lines of custom style in here. So I am going to put this into an external CSS file. So I'll pop in here and create that. And what I want to do is select the image that's inside of the header element. So header is greater than img, and this will go find that image. So the first thing I'm going to do is put that height back in there. And then remember, I have to have a link to that CSS file up here or it's not going to work at all. What do they call this? Here it is. So boom, you can see it pop down to 150 pixels height. And if I want it to scale with the viewport, I say width 100%. Okay, so now I don't have that ugly white space and it stays the same height, and that's great, but you can see I get this really ugly stretching going on. Okay, so here's where kind of the magic comes in. There's this property called object fit, and what you can use is object fit cover, and what it'll do is it'll automatically cover the box that image is in. And what it'll do is it'll cut off the sides or the top and crop it as necessary so that the image looks normal but still fills up that region. And at this point, if you're happy with this, you can just be done right here. Okay, you can see on the bigger screen sizes what it's doing as I resize. As I get bigger, it's cutting off bits of the top and the bottom. Okay, as I get smaller, eventually it gets to that 150 pixels and it has to stop right there, and now it's cutting off pieces of the sides. Okay, so one more thing you can do just to take more control of what's going on here. What if in this panorama I want that little nub of a mountain to be in the picture at all times because I hiked up there and I want everybody to be able to see that at all times. Problem is, if I scroll down to certain phone sizes, it cuts my magic mountain off right there. And I don't want phone users to have that happen. I want that to always be visible. Then you can just add one more line, object position, and this allows you to control how the browser window cuts the sides off. And all you got to do is pick the spot that you want to be visible all the time, kind of like the focal point of the image, and decide where that is in the image. Okay, so from left to right, I would say that knob is about 80% to the right, and from the top it's about 50% down on the image, about halfway down. So you just type 80%, 50% on object position, and now watch what happens when I resize. It'll cut off the sides, but it'll do it in such a way that this is always visible. Okay, and so you can play with that to make it behave just perfectly. And everything is beautiful at this point. Okay, don't forget all these properties, right? One of the big problems we are trying to overcome is this height problem, because we don't always want it to scale bigger and smaller on the height. We just want that to be fixed. Have fun.